Hi there, Lisa here with another pocket idea for your books and journals. I did this double crisscross pocket a while ago, and as I was decorating some of these to include in some books that I was working on, I came up with another idea off of this. So this inspired this one, and it has, a straight pocket here at the bottom, but it is the full and complete width of the pocket. And then there's a little crisscross pocket right here in the front, which I have edged with just a punch, made it really, really simple. Not everybody has a die cutting machine or border dies or edge dies, but with a punch, a decorative punch, you can get the same effect and make your pockets look really cool by adding some more detail to them. So what are you going to need? Your scoreboard, your trimmer, and a decorative punch. And let's just hop to it. I'm using 8.5 by 11-inch paper again. And again, I work with the 20 pounds, the 24-pound paper. I really do like the extra durability of it. So we're going to cut this to 9.5 inches. 9.5 inches, and the piece that you're going to cut off here, don't throw that away. You just set that to the side. We might use that later. Then you'll need your scoreboard. On the 9.5 inch side, we've got the 9.5 here at the top. We're going to score at 3 inches, 3 inches, and then 6.5, 6.5. So you should have 3 inches here, 3 inches here, but 3.5 here in the center. So 3 and 6.5, and then I'm going to turn it, rotate it, and I'm going to score at 3 inches. And as I always do when I'm working with this basic copy paper, I flip it bottom to top, and I want to hit those score lines again. It really does make a difference in folding this paper. And again at 3 and 6.5. So right here, I'm going to stop and draw in this little 3-inch line here just with a pencil, and you don't need to do this, it's just so that you can see it. And I'm going to do the 6.5 and the 3. We're going to make 2 more little score lines on here. So at this point here, you should have the 3-inch section at the top of your scoreboard, and you've got the taller section down here below. We're going to score a 1/2 inch on each side of these 2 score lines. So here at the 3, go over to 2.5, and you're only going to score it up to this line right here. You're going to stop right there, just a 1/2 inch there. We're going to score it at 7 right here, just up to that score line. And that's going to make our little 1/2 inch tabs for this bottom pocket. So that's all the scoring that you need to do. Your scissors next. And you're not going to see anything that you cut on here with your scissors, so you don't have to worry about being absolutely super precise. It's going to be okay. We're going to cut from here right up to this intersection, and we're going to stop right there. We're going to cut this line right here and stop right there. So this is kind of where we started. So we're going to cut here and we're going to cut here, right up to those intersections. And stop. And stop. Now we're going to remove these 2 bottom corners, but we're going to leave that little 1/2 inch space that we scored. So we're just going to cut right on that scored line right there, that 1/2 inch space, and just cut. And then the other one over here. Again, you're not going to see this, so don't worry about it. And then we're also going to cut into the corners to remove a little bit of material, just to make that fit a little bit better. So we're just taking out a small triangle right there on our little pocket tabs. So that's it for the cutting. Don't throw these away. You might use these later, and I'll show you how. So we're going to do a little bit of measuring here. Most punches, most decorative punches are 1/2 inch deep. Most of them, not all. So if you've got something other than a Martha Stewart punch or one of the EK Success punches, you're going to want to flip it over and measure the depth in here. I know this one's 1/2 inch. So because I know it's 1/2 inch, I'm going to mark over from my two vertical lines right here, 1/2 inch this way and 1/2 inch that way. And that's where my punching is going to start at the top of my pocket. So 1/2 inch here, and then 1/2 inch on this side. We're going to go down, or I should say, excuse me, up from the bottom. We're going to measure up from the bottom 2 1/4 inches. So 2 1/4 and 2 1/4 here. We're going to connect those 2 points. And you don't necessarily have to connect these with a pencil line. You could just get in there with your scissors and cut it, but I want you to see it. Okay, so we measured 1/2 inch over, 1/2 inch over, and then 2 1/4 inches up and 2 1/4 inches up on this side. We're going to take off these corners, and these we're not going to save, so you can go ahead and just drop those in the trash. And cut. Now we're going to punch the fun stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one here, and I want to turn it over because I want to be punching from the right side, and I'm going to turn my punch over so that I can see where this corner goes. I want that right at the very top edge of my punch, right in there, and go. And then you just continue on. Now, you could use a different punch for this front pocket. They don't all have to be the same. I just really happen to like the eyelet lace punch, so that's what I used for the whole thing. And following on my punch. So there's the sides. Now I'm going to punch this edge right here. And I want the pocket to look the same on this side as it does on this side. So I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to use those little hash marks on the back edge of the punch here to center it. I make sure that I've got the same amount of paper on this side as I do this side, and punch. And then you just work your way both ways. Okay, let's go ahead and fold in our little tabs here on the side. Whoops, that's on the wrong side. Here we go. Fold in the tabs on the side. And I am going to tab these right at the top. I'm going to take off that material so that it doesn't show. So there's my bottom pocket. And again, anytime you fold, make sure you're using your bone folder. And then we'll go ahead and fold in the sides. And here's your pocket. Super simple. So before I glue it together, let's give it a little bit of ink. It's always easier to do it when it's not put together. So I really just ink up the edges just to really give them some definition. Just right where I've punched. And here too. The rest of it you can get after it's been put together. So we're going to go ahead and glue this part right here, and you don't even have to be really precise about where you put the glue. Just scribble some in there, make sure you get this edge right here, a little bit right there, and then just stick it shut. We're going to fold up the bottom. Again, whatever your favorite adhesive is, you could use score tape on these pocket tabs if you want to. And then I'm just going to stick that down. Super simple. A little more ink on the edges. And there you have it. There's your pocket. Here's the one that I did up first. I just basically decorated the little pocket down here at the bottom and made a tag for the inside, and I punched the bottom edge of the tag the same as I used on the pocket itself, and then just put some different things in the, they were laying on my desk, literally just laying on my desktop here that I just kind of tucked in here. So you can glue this straight down onto a page. There's no pocket on the back, unlike my double crisscross pocket. So without having a pocket on the back, you can just stick it right down, maybe just glue it in an L, and you can also use that to tuck other things behind it if you want to really layer up a page. Having said that, you can also hinge this, which is really easy to do. And this piece right here that we saved from trimming down the paper, all you got to do is fold this in half. I'm just going to tear it right here at the end to get it to the height I need. Well, let's use my scissors. Fold it in half. And then go ahead and adhere this to the back. And then you've hinged it. That's really, really that simple. You could also use a tab punch for hinges. And I happen to have this one from Stampin' Up. So let's just punch out a couple of tabs from these leftover pieces here. And you could use these for hinges. Just fold them in half. And actually I want to make sure that I put the glue where I've got that X. And you can attach them right here. One at the top, one at the bottom. And then you've got kind of a cute, funky, cool hinging mechanism. I actually punched out a couple out of some scrap paper that I've got sitting here. And this is just some old Tim Holtz paper. So I'm going to go ahead and just adhere these down to the back of this little pocket. And then I don't have to actually cover up a hinge. I can just make it part of the decorative element of the pocket itself. And goodness knows we all have tons of little bitty scraps that you could use for punching. There we go. And now I would just glue those down to the page of my book, and I've created a nice, really cute little hinging system for the inside. So there you have it, another pocket idea for your journals. Let me know what you think. I'd love to see the pockets that you make, and I hope to talk to you again very, very soon.